Alright, so I wanted to give you a quick walkthrough of the steps to do the assignment, the PS5 assignment. So if I open up the practice set, I already did the download of SQL Developer. I'll leave that up to you. Create a connection. Here we are. I'm going to create a connection called CIC 181. I already have one of those, but I'll delete it off. That's cool. I'll delete it and say yes. I'm going to create a connection. Connection name is CIC 181. CISC 181. The password that I'm using is that. I'm going to save the password that I don't have to type it in every time. It's not localhost. It's going to be this whole thing. Make sure you don't get any extra spaces or any kind of crazy characters. And then 1521 is the same, and the service name is Oracle. So click that radio button, service name. Give it a test. Success. We're good. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to connect. So I have a connection to the service account. I don't want you to do any work here. I don't want you to build any tables here. I want you to build tables in your own user ID. You've got to create your own user ID. So what I want you to do is open up CIC 181, right click, go to create user. Your username, I'm going to use, my name is Bert Gibbons, so I'm going to say Gibbons B, and I'm going to give it a password. And not check any of these boxes. Go to granted roles. I'm going to grant all system privileges, grant all SQL. I'm going to Control A, copy, Control A, select all, Control A, copy, and then click close. And then if I don't have a query window open already, I'm going to open one by clicking that button and making sure CIC 181 is selected. You'll see it up there. Paste. Now, when you run this at Amazon, some of these will fail because you can't get permission for some of the things. So that's why I didn't want to do it in the apply box in the earlier one, because if it fails, that process will stop. This process will continue. So click it, run as script, click, and it's going on, it's doing its thing, blah, blah, blah. It's create my user ID, give me all those permissions, or some of the permissions. It's done. Now, if I really wanted to look to see what I can't get, I can scroll up through this output window, and it says, what? Data pump X full database. You can't get that. That's like a super duper privilege. There's no way Amazon's going to give me that, no matter what I pay them. I can't get an admin role, executive admin role. So I expect some of these things to happen. All right, that's part one. As a matter of fact, this is up to there. There we go. So I'm going to close this. I don't need to save that. Close this window. Go to other users. And sometimes you got to click the little refresh icon. And I should see Gibbons B. Now if I want to connect, the easiest way to do it is right click the connection I already have, go to properties, and then just change the things that I need to change. So I'm going to say all this other stuff's the same. Same host name, same port, same service name. I click test, success, I click save, and I click connect. And just so I know I'm not like messing things up, like getting confused with where I'm connected, I'm going to right click the original CIC 181 and say disconnect. Now I'm connected to Gibbons B. And there I am. Let me pause for 1 second because we're going to grab that SQL file. Just give me 1 second, I'll be right back. I'm back. So I open up that SQL file that I attached to the assignment. Again, I'm not changing anything. All I'm going to do is Control A, Control C. I just opened it up with Notepad. Control A, Control C, and then go back to Oracle Developer or SQL Developer. Open up a window for Gibbons B. Paste. That's all I did. Paste. Then I'm going to click the Run as Script button, and it is building my schema. Really cool stuff. It takes a minute. Now this is taking like an extra minute or two because it's actually hitting Amazon's site, so that the latency to do each individual insert statement, it takes an extra split second because we're going over the internet. If this was a local copy, This would run like really quick. So it may take a minute. I'm going to pause the video and I'll come back when it's done. It's done. I'm going to go and refresh my whole, in other words, I select the given speed and hit refresh. All the tables are there. If I go into an individual table, course for instance, and go to data, I should see rows. I got rows of data. This is exactly how it should be built. Let me close this. I don't need to keep that. So this schema would have been, I gave you, I think, 10 tables, and I gave you one trigger. I'm going to find it. Trigger. And I gave you one package, which is here. So what you do is, okay, it's not compiling. Let's see. I'm going to right-click it and say compile, and it's good. Okay. Sometimes if these things are implemented out of order, it's a long story. Just recompile it if you have a problem with it. If it comes up red, right-click it and do compile. All right. So what I want you to do for the third part of this, in other words, if we go back to PS5, that would have been these steps that I just did in front of you. So this is what's left. I want you to give me all the triggers and all the packages for these tables. I gave you an example for this trigger and that package. Let's say I'm going to do enrollment. All I have to do is open up a trigger, open up that trigger. I'm going to Control A. I'm going to open up a new window. I'm going to paste. I'm going to do trigger enrollment, right? So here's TRG. Instead of course, I'm going to call it enrollment. On insert or excuse me, before insert or update, and it's for the enrollment table. That doesn't change. That doesn't change. None of this stuff changes. They all have those same columns. So all you had to do was change the trigger name and the table name. And I run as a script. It's compiled. I go over to triggers, right click it, refresh. Second one's done. That's how you do grade, conversion, all the way down to zip code. Easy stuff. I didn't explain to you what a trigger does yet, but that's all you have to do so far to create the trigger using the example. The package is going to be a little bit trickier because the package actually has column names in it. But same idea. If I open up the course package, the package spec, which is this part of the package, I want you to change these so it's insert enrollment, delete enrollment, update enrollment, and select enrollment. Now, of course, if you're inserting enrollment, these columns are going to change. Course, no description, cost, and prerequisite, that's not the columns. The columns are going to be student ID, section ID, enroll date, final grade. Don't account for these. The created by up to modified date, these extra columns, these 4 columns on each table, don't even bother with those. Just give me student ID, section ID, enroll date, and final grade. So what I would do is like, again, copy this, open up a new window, copy, open up a new window, paste, change this, change that, change the column names, make sure you got the right data types. Okay? And then do the same thing for the body. Remember, this is the spec, this is the body. Double click this. This is all the implementation. This is how the insert statement is coded for course. The insert statement coded for enrollment is it's the same format, but the column names are different. Same with update, same with delete, and same with select. So go one by one. It'll take you 2 minutes to do the triggers. It'll probably take you 10 minutes or so to do each table's package. Excellent. I'm going to be working on Hibernate, and that's going to be for class on Monday. In the meantime, start working on PS5, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.